Field. Hi, everybody. So, what I wanted to talk to you about is I'm sure some of you have been wondering what to do about the fact that you are still in this pandemic, months in. And maybe you're feeling a little bit nervous about having your dog walker come back or signing up for pet sitting visits or even going away for house sitting. So I just wanted to pop on and we're going to put you at ease. So hi, my name's Nissa. I'm the owner of Magic of Paws, helping you help your pets. And today we're talking about our COVID-19 procedures, the changes we've made. So I just wanted to give you a heads up that I am live here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So please let me know in the comments where you're watching from. And over here, I have Instagram, and I've already apologized to you that I can't make eye contact as much over here because my main camera's here. So what I wanted to do to start off with is, sorry, cat's been causing trouble. So what I wanted to do is start off with mainly with where we stand with COVID-19 as far as where it relates to animals and animal care. Plus, I wanted to go over what our services are so you can kind of understand while I talk about the changes that we've made. So then we're going to talk about these changes to our policies, procedures, before finally kind of looping it back onto you and what you as a pet owner can expect from us and what we in turn expect from you. So if you have any questions at any time, go ahead, put them in. I will be checking throughout the stream. I'm happy to answer them. But I want to start off with first clearing up some COVID-19 things. As of now, August 17th at 3:03 p.m., there is no evidence that animals can transmit COVID-19 to people, which is great because there are so many diseases that animals can transmit to us. It's nice to not have to worry about that. But on the flip side, there is evidence that we can transmit it to our animals, and that's not all that great either. Hi, Ernest. Yeah. Tough life. So a lot of the precautions you're going to hear me talk about are not just about keeping you safe, but about keeping your pets safe as well, because there has been evidence shown of COVID-19 in dogs, and I believe cats. I know dogs. And it's showing very similar symptoms of coughing, respiratory distress, pneumonia, diarrhea, those kinds of issues. And Ernest is going to make noise throughout this whole thing. Oh, good, he's going away. Fingers crossed that he stays gone. So I wanted to go over kind of what our services are so that you can kind of pick up on where we are making our changes. So the main services that we offer are pet sitting, which consists of house sitting overnights, where we stay in your home, take care of your pets, take care of your home. And then we have sitting visits where we drop by, feed, water, medications, change the litter box, collect the eggs from the chickens, whatever it might be. Then we have our midday visits, which are more like most people use them for dog walks, but they're a mix of dog walking and playing in the yard. And then we also have our dog training, which traditionally has been done in people's homes with them one-on-one. So what about these changes that we're making? And feel free to interrupt with questions. I'll be checking. But the main changes that we are making are to keep us safe, you safe, all of that. The main one is social distancing. So a lot of our customers are still working from home. So when we stop by for dog walks, we're still interacting. And when we do that, we want to do that at a 6-foot distance, preferably with face masks on as well for both parties. But we're also implementing all of the other CDC guidelines like hand washing, sanitizing, face coverings, all of that to make sure that we're creating the safest experience possible. And I wanted to kind of go through by each category of service that we do, the changes that we've made, what the protocols look like, and then kind of go over any questions you have about those. So I want to start off with our midday visits. These are our most popular visits right now, which is honestly surprising to me because they are for while people are away at work or school, and there haven't been a whole lot of people going out and going to work. But we're seeing an increase of people asking for us to do these services while they are still home, so that their dog gets exercised and socialized. Even some people have asked for us to come by while they're still home to care for their cat, scoop the litter box, those kinds of things, just so that their cat gets some more stimulation while they're trying to work from home. Crazy things. But as far as our dog walks go, and I'm going to talk mainly about this part because it is the most common one of what we offer. So, as far as dog walks go, we are providing our own leashes to cut down on that risk of transmission. That's one less surface that you have to worry about. It's ours. We take it with us. We bring it with us. We sanitize it between visits. So it's nice and clean. You don't have to worry about it. And you don't have to worry about us touching your leashes. It's pretty safe. We're also wearing face masks when we approach the door. If you're home, we will knock or ring the doorbell before opening the door and calling the dog to us. That just means that we do that just so that the dog can be ready and excited and meeting us at the door, as opposed to us walking into the house, trying to find them, whatever it might be. And we ask that if you are working from home and you have your dog with you, so that in your office where the air conditioning is, just make sure that the door is open so that they can come out to us as opposed to us coming to them. The less time we have to spend in your house, the better for everybody. So one thing is that when we check into the appointment, you'll get a text message or an email or both, depending on how your system is set up. That'll alert you to the fact that we are there, so that you can use that opportunity to put your dog's harness on or open the door to wherever they are, whatever it is that you need to do. So ideally, we should just open the door, call your dog to us, and skedaddle with your pup for our nice little walk. The other side to this is if you are working outside of the house, we do have to go into your home. We are removing our shoes because there has been evidence of coronavirus being brought in on people's shoes. So we're removing our shoes before we enter your home. We are also wearing our face masks anytime we're in your home. And we're also tracking any surfaces that we do touch when we come into your home. That way we know what we need to clean. So for that, we take your dog, sanitizing their collar if we need to, sanitizing their harness if we need to. We go out for our walk, we come back, and then once we come back, we actually wipe down their paws because CDC guidance is actually suggesting that dogs can pick up the coronavirus on their paws, and dogs can then catch coronavirus from licking their paws. So we're trying to reduce that risk of transmission. Plus, we don't want them bringing it into your home. So we wipe their paws down. We have these little puppy wet naps, little baby wipes, but for dogs. And then we will then go and wipe down any surfaces we've touched using a disinfectant wipe. So that's pretty much it for our midday visits. We are also, if taking into account, if people are home, maintaining that distance, if we do end up crossing paths. But for the most part, we've been pretty lucky that everybody's either already gone to work or they've been their dogs have been coming to the door and they've been respecting that distance. So the next thing are our sitting visits. These visits are for when people go out of town, either to go camping, hi Ernest, or maybe they're going to visit relatives, whatever it might be. There's no big vacations going on really right now, but when people go out of town for whatever reason, this is when we come and stop by, feed the cats, give them medication, scoop litter box, check care of the chickens, rodents, reptiles, whatever it is that you have. And the big difference here is mainly time. So we are coming into your home, wearing our face mask, removing our shoes, sanitizing our surfaces, just like we do for the midday service. But the big difference here is time. Beforehand, what we would do is kind of hang out in the house, even if your cat wasn't paying any attention to us, and either read to them or play them some music or, whatever it might be. But now what we're doing is once animals show no interest in us anymore, we are taking that as our cue to leave. So if you have a somewhat antisocial cat or chickens who don't really interact with people, you might notice that our visits are shorter, and that's mainly just so that we aren't spending as much time in your home, going in and out and potentially exposing you or ourselves to any germs that might be spread. Don't worry, we're still making sure everything gets done. We are only taking away the time where we would just be sitting there twiddling our thumbs, reading to your cat, talking to them, hoping that they come out and interact with us, but they're not really. So, moving on, house sitting. This is the one exception to our face mask rule. The reason for this is that when people book our house sitting services, they're expecting us to stay in the house as much as possible and take care of their pets, spend the night there, all of that. And it's just really not feasible to ask any of the employees to wear a face mask for almost 24 hours a day. So what we are doing instead is at the end of our visit, before we leave, we're putting that mask on, going through and wiping down every surface in the house, whether we've been in there recently or whether we haven't been in there since been anywhere near that surface since the first day we were there. That way we're just making sure we're covering our bases, getting anything we might have left during that time. And of course, we're following the no shoe rule inside the house as well. The next part of this are our dog training. And this is where we've seen the most changes. So anybody who's worked with me in the past knows that the main way I did training for the past 3 years was in one-on-one sessions in people's homes for about an hour at a time. I'm still offering that as a service. I'm not taking it off the table. I'm just strongly encouraging people to go in other directions. And if we do go ahead and do those private services, that we are doing them outside, ideally, or inside with masks on. Masks make it really hard to do proper dog training, especially with the niche of dogs that I work with. I tend to work with highly anxious dogs, and dogs that are already stressed out, and taking away half of somebody's space makes it a little bit more difficult for you to gain that trust with a dog. So instead, what I'm asking people to do is, if they want to do most of the work themselves, we're doing virtual coaching sessions like this over Zoom. Plus they're cheaper. And then if they want more hands-on work, what I'm offering is a program where I do all the work. So I come and pick up the dog, we go for a walk, and then we do some training while we're out on the walk, and then either in the yard or in the home if needed, when we come back from our walk, just to get as much done as possible without having to have that face mask on. So that's our biggest change. That's pretty much it as far as our major changes go, as far as what happens actually during the service. The other thing that is going on is with us, the staff, the employees. So part of this is that we are taking our temperatures every day before we go to work. If we are noticing a spike in those temperatures, we are calling our doctors, going in for a COVID-19 test if deemed necessary based on other symptoms, and then isolating while we wait for the results of those tests. I've already gone through 2 COVID-19 tests this year, mainly because they didn't trust the results of the first one, but they were both negative, which, yay. But I had enough symptoms, which turned out to be mostly my allergies acting up as far as breathing. But better safe than sorry. And what happened was I had Sarah, one of my employees, cover all of my services while I was waiting for my test results. Now, going forward, that's going to be a little bit more difficult because today is Sarah's last day before she goes back to college. And we currently don't have anybody else but me going out and taking care of pets. So if I do need to go in for a COVID-19 test, I will be messaging everybody, sending everybody an email, letting you know so that you can make alternative arrangements for those times. And I am so very sorry. And I promise I am working on trying to hire somebody to help me out if that does happen. So just wanted you to know we are taking it seriously, all of that. All right, well, we've talked about what we're doing. Now let's talk a little bit about what we expect our owners and clients to do as well. So the main thing is that while we are doing a lot of cleaning on our own, it's always good to go ahead and clean those surfaces you think we might have touched if you are particularly worried. The other time you might want to go ahead and clean would be if you are home for a midday visit. If someone is home, we aren't going ahead and sanitizing the outside doorknob because the outside doorknob and somebody is home. So we do that so that you can keep track of, mainly because what we do is we store our cleaning supplies inside while we go out on our walk so that they don't get degraded by the sunlight. But if we don't go inside, there's no place for us to keep our cleaning supplies during the walk. So that is the only time you really should do some cleaning after we've been there, is that outside doorknob after we leave for our walks. We also, not all dogs are as open to having their paws washed. So if you have a dog that you know is anxious and nervous about having their feet touched, please try to get them used to it so that we can get those paws wiped down nice and quick and we don't have to fight and struggle and worry about not getting them properly clean. The final part of it is, while we are taking our temperatures every day and monitoring for symptoms, we ask that you let us know what the current health status is of anybody in the house, if it should change. If anybody notices that they have signs of COVID-19 or is isolating because of a potential exposure, we just ask that you let us know so that we can come up with an appropriate plan. We know that if people are COVID-19 positive, they might have trouble breathing, so dog walking is going to be more difficult, or maybe it's going up and down the stairs to get to the cat's litter box, whatever it might be. Just let us know. We're happy to accommodate it, but it just means that we need to bring additional equipment. It just means that we need to make sure that we have a specific plan in place for you and your pets, because sometimes people have homes where they can, close off the dog in one part of the house away from them while they're recovering. So it's just, we're trying to make sure that we tailor each one of these responses to each individual. That's pretty much it. We just ask that we're going to be open with you. So if you could please let us know as well about any changes. Also, we really do ask that if you are going to need to cancel appointments or reschedule them, that you give us as much notice as possible. We are very, 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 very tight on scheduling right now. So the earlier we know about an opening, the quicker we can get somebody off of the wait list and into our services. That being said, we are still accepting new clients. It's just a matter of whether your ideal time is open, but there will be time available. It just might not be the 12 o'clock slot that everybody wants. All right. So I'm not seeing any questions, but if you do have any questions at any point, do not hesitate to reach back out to us either in the comments or direct message. Send us an email at info@magicofpaws, give us a call, visit our website, whatever it might be that works best for you. We want to hear about any questions and concerns you might have. Anyway, have a good rest of your day. Give your pets some love from us, and we will see you later.